Hey everybody, it's Mary and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I am processing squash. I'm not freezing it like a lot of people do, but I'm canning it. That way it's perfect, like to put a squash casserole or a soup. You just open the can, drain it, and there you go. Okay, I've already washed my squash, and you make sure that there's nothing, no blemishes or anything on here. This has a few little blemishes right here, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, there's nothing on the inside, so that's good. We don't have to cut that off. I'm just going to cut the other end off. Okay, to make it more manageable to work with, I'm going to cut it right here, and then we'll deal with that big piece in a minute. Now we need to get this into the correct size to fit into our quart jars. And there's seeds from a previous one. But I'm just going to cut this into small pieces, probably 1/4 inch or so. That way, during the processing time, it doesn't cook up totally to mush. You want a little bit of consistency there. Okay, it's super easy. This is a summer squash. You could also use zucchini or any of the other summer squashes that's out there. Winter squash is a different process. That's why I keep saying summer squash. Okay, now this other part of it, I'm going to cut it down the middle. And folks, you see all those big seeds in there. Personally, I don't want that in mine. You could leave it if you like, that's okay. But I'm not going to. Okay, I have my spoon. I'm going to cut the seeds out. Now folks, you can use your fingers if you like, or you can use a spoon. Doesn't really matter. Whatever's going to work best for you. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to get the rest of this cut up and we'll go from there. Okay, I got the rest of the squash cut up into manageable sizes. They'll fit into the jar really easily. Okay. I have water almost to a boil right here in this pot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my squash in there and I'm going to bring it up to a boil, and it's going to boil for 2 to 3 minutes. Now this is always the fun part, guys. Hey, I only dropped one. I'm getting better. Okay. Like I say, I'm going to make sure this is all the way covered since I had it in there. Bring it up to a boil for 2 to 3 minutes. Then we'll be ready to get it in the jars. Okay. We've been boiling for about 3 minutes. So I have my canning salt. Folks, you can use canning salt, you can use sea salt, you can use pink Himalayan sea salt. I came across another box of this in my cabinet. I'm trying to use it up to get it out of the way, because I normally like the pink Himalayan, but it's all your personal preference. Okay, I put a teaspoon in my quart jar. Folks, this is not a kitty litter spoon. It is a kitchen scoop. So, just saying. I'm going to get some of my squash, put it inside my jar. Folks, what's the best way you found to mash your stuff down in there? See, this is twofold purpose. It's really wide and strong. So this way, I'm not having a half a jar of squash and the rest of it in the floating water here in a little bit. But what have you found that works best for mashing your squash down in there, or anything else that you need to mash down inside a jar? If you got something better than this, let me know in the comments. But for now, guys, this works. So I have my squash in there. I have a pot of water right here that is boiling. My jars were hot. I have them sitting over in the sink in some hot water. Don't have room to have everything sitting right here, folks. Just how it is. Okay, so I'm wiping my jar rim off just in case I drop something on there. I have my new flats and my rings. With these new ones, you do not have to soak them in hot water like you used to. So I'm just going to put that on there, finger tight. If I don't get it cross-threaded. Okay, put that on there, finger tight. And where this is hot, and my jar is hot, I've got my canner preheating. So again, I get a jar. I'm putting my canning salt in here. Do you guys can squash? What's your favorite vegetable to can? Honestly, I can a lot of different veggies. And even though I'm canning squash right now, folks, I think my favorite veggie to can has to be tomatoes. I know theoretically I should have said squash because that's what I'm working, but I'm honest with you, folks. So that one should have been cut a little smaller, guys. Okay, again, we're going to mash it down. This by no means is solid in here, folks. It's just a decent pack. And we definitely want to be sure we leave the correct headspace in here. Which you fill the jar to about right here and you have your inch headspace. That is one of the easiest ways to tell if you have the correct space or not. And again, I'm going to wipe it off. Put our lid on there, finger tight. The reason we put it on there finger tight, if we get it too tight, any air that's trapped in here will not escape and you won't have a good seal. It won't seal. During the canning process, it forces the air out. Okay. I'm just going to continue and get the rest of my squash in the jars, and then we're going to process this 10 pounds of pressure for 40 minutes.